I feel this is a trend similar with the AI agent helps with AI technology. Stablecoin helps payment technology. I think this is like we're super exciting to see this. To see this upgrade, everyone should be able to get the benefits from those.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Unchained, your no-hype resource for all things crypto. I'm your host, Laura Shin. Every episode, we love to feature listener comments. Today, we have some responses to my recent two-part series with Bitwise's Jeff Park. On YouTube, Gatecrasher1 wrote, "I'm not putting anything past Jeff Park. This guy is both smart and forthcoming in his views on Bitcoin and the effects on the future economy." Also on YouTube, XXX said, "I love this guy always. Watch his interviews. I don't know, it seems like he genuinely wants me to win. LMAO. Most people just trying to sell you something. Good episode." Watch the full episode with Jeff on YouTube or on any podcast platform. And tell us what you think with a comment on YouTube, Farcaster, or X. This is the June 12th, 2025 episode of Unchained. Ledn is a leading platform for Bitcoin-backed loans, offering a secure and transparent way to unlock liquidity without selling your Bitcoin. Issuing loans since 2018 and earning over 1,000 Trustpilot reviews. Learn more at ledn.io. In many countries, governments freeze accounts, surveil transactions, and seize assets, not just from activists, but from everyday people. That's why the Human Rights Foundation created the Financial Freedom Report. Sign up to receive it weekly at financialfreedomreport.org. Imagine an AI that speaks crypto and does the work of a team of analysts. Introducing Focal by Falcon X, bringing clarity to a world of noise. Visit askfocal.com. Today's guest is Vicky Fu, co-founder at Yala and former engineering director at Circle. Welcome, Vicky.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure to have a conversation here.
Yeah, excited to chat. There's been so much stablecoin news this week and last. There was obviously the Circle IPO that most crypto people kind of missed or dismissed. And you were one of the few who understood that people were underestimating it. Then this week, there was the Plasma ICO, the Privy acquisition by Stripe, and the announcement that Shopify merchants would now be able to accept USDC. And that is only the business news. On top of all that, it looks like we're going to get a stablecoin bill passed in the Senate soon. So I know people want to hear about the Privy acquisition, the Shopify news, but I do just want to back up and start with the Circle IPO, because that really sets the stage for how to think about all of this news that we're seeing. And the day before the Circle IPO, you wrote a tweet saying that it was mispriced and the market was going to learn a lesson about this. You know, you probably heard like a lot of crypto people were comparing Circle's business model to Tether's and frankly, the profits, which, are just a small fraction of Tether's. And, they have much higher overhead. And so there were numerous crypto people, in fact, on this show who were saying, this IPO was nothing to get excited about. And they were wrong. And you had written this tweet about, how you felt people were mispricing this. So explain, what it was that you were thinking, how you were evaluating things differently, and why you thought the underwriters got it wwrong.
Thank you. I really appreciate you notice my tweet. I didn't expect it have so much attention. Let me start with my story and my journey. So I joined Circle 2021 and left 2024, early 2024 as Eng director and started my own project, Yala, which is a BTC-backed liquidity layer to help BTC holder earn yield. So I view myself really have thought a lot about the stablecoin business. I see that people right now is try to do the traditional way for like a financial model. Say, oh, this is the earning, so this is the profit. So how to measure this company? Actually, Circle is so unique. You actually create a brand new business or brand new product never seen before, right? Before we don't have a stable coin as a public trade company. So that's the first initial thing that Circle pioneered. Actually, in 2021, when I joined, Circle already started their IPO journey. It had been overdue because the regulation, because a lot of going on for the crypto side get evolved. So finally, we get to the point. We get the SE prove this deal. We get a Circle accepted as a publicly traded company. A lot of new attention come here, but overall, I think Circle really pioneer here have two things people didn't pay much attention beyond the revenue. One is Circles bring significant of the liquidity everywhere on chain. What I mean that right now everyone can bring a stablecoin, more or less every bank. I mean, talk about every bank in the regulation or something. But as a Circle's volume, I think right now is a 60 billion circulation. You have to deploy those liquidity in all the DeFi protocol, from the trading, from the staking, from everywhere else. That's where a lot of natural organic demand, which not any other stablecoin can easy to compare. Of course, Tether is there. I think that's also legit. They are also a big player. So that's where I think when people only compare to revenue perspective, they easily miss what's going on underneath. Where's the 60 billion come from, right? 60 billion circulation. That's the first thing. The second thing is when people compare Tether and the Circle, they always feel that, because the revenue is small, that means like a Circle seems second tier compared to Tether. I think that's totally misunderstood the business, because Circle or Tether, they are representing a brand new business, means they do on-ramp, off-ramp, representing the whole geo market. What I mean is Circle really are dominant in North America, or has been a long time regulation when they are not certain. People feel feel like they should not invest a lot in crypto space. But given that the whole climate change after Trump getting into position, the U.S. market or the North American market will be invest significant, and the Circle will be their top choice when they think about a stablecoin. They should bet on, or as given that Circle have a really strong brand in US, that's what will fundamentally boost all the Circle's circulation and the profit capability. So I think when they just say, because they have less circulation compared to Tether, it just not in the same market, right? So that's where I think that given that two things, beyond the number, look at the overall market condition and the overall DeFi infra, Circle should worth significant more compared to the $31 as the starting price.
Okay, so basically you're in a way just saying like because the US has the biggest markets that is and that's where Circle plays, that's why it ends up having this competitive edge, and it really is just a different beast from Tether, which is trying to serve a completely different market. Is that kind of what you're saying?
I view that potentially US was the faster growing space in crypto, given that right now the regulation are favorite US investment place. So I think last few years US are underdeveloped when we talk about the crypto growing. That's where I see that the new government really think we want to be crypto friendly. I'm really happy to see that, and I'm really happy to see Circle success. A lot of friends of mine are really celebrating this IPO, and given the IPO, Circle have even stronger brand, and there'll be a more adoption accordingly, because stablecoin is a trust game, and people view transparency as one of the top requirement when they put their money, right? So that's where I think the Circle will have even further growing potential given that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. One of the probably longest standing criticisms of Tether is around transparency. But yeah, I just wanted to quote from that tweet that you wrote because it was funny. Here we are talking about how a lot of crypto people were kind of comparing the profits to Tethers and, and the profit margins. And you just wrote, you know, so you talked about how you felt like the valuations that people were talking about and the price that the IPO was going to launch at, how you felt like that was what you called structural mispricing. And then you wrote, Circle isn't a money market fund. It's a digital dollar infrastructure with quasi-sovereign issuance rights. For context, PayPal, $70 billion market cap, $1.5 trillion in volume. Visa, $500 billion market cap, $14 trillion in volume. Circle, $6 billion valuation, $12 trillion in volume. So that was, yeah, it was a really interesting comparison. And you said the math doesn't work. 25 times oversubscribed tells the real story. And actually, one other bit that I wanted to ask you about in this tweet, you said Circle controls the digital dollar printing press. And, as you had mentioned earlier in the tweet, you said that they're really in this area where it's like a quasi-sovereign issuance rights. But I just wanted to understand, because it's not like they're like creating dollars. They're like taking analog dollars and turning them into digital. So really, how are you thinking about what this business is?
Yeah, I think this is people easily underestimate the effort Circle build and what's the moat here, because um, um, in the end of the day, fiat-based stablecoin actually do a lot for on-ramp, off-ramp, right? Because you want to deposit the US dollars that mean the stables and burn US dollar, burn USDC, get your dollar back. So so Circle catering that with real time and 24/7 capability. Why I say it's a big deal, because I don't know, people remember 2020 two 2022 2022 or 23, the Silicon Valley falling apart
Oh,
at that time.
the Silicon
uh,
Valley Bank.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
it was March,
Silicon
yeah,
Valley, yeah,
2023.
2023 Silicon Valley Bank falling apart. At that time, Circle lose the like the bank on-ramp off-ramp rail some portion from the Silvergate. So Circle worked really hard to bring the global capability to do on-ramp off-ramp since then, right? Because this is really allow globally everyone, if they bring US dollars, they actually can mint stable. That's super powerful, because dealing with bank relationship, building the capability to do real time and handling the report and do three-way accounting for make sure every dollar on chain, online, and in the bank are all meet. This is actually a huge effort for Circle work really hard to get that point, and make the transparency for everyone be able to see. So that's I view that it's a last mile issue Circle has solved. I think when when people think about it, oh, you just deposit US dollar, you get a USDC. That's because Circle are solving this and keep to bring new geo available, like Latino and others. So that's give a Circle significant advantage compared to other like on-ramp solutions. Because if you think about it, any bank, either they can support their own current region, or they somehow have the high cost due to their network. So Circle work really hard to bring that efficiency. That's where really $1 trillion moving around cross border payment be able to happen with a stable speed. And that's where Jeremy Allaire, the Circle CEO, have the vision. This is the future money movement. right? Because that's the efficiency. And any bank right now, their traditional infra could be empowered by stable coins with better efficiency. Given that, that's a significant amount of uh like a value prop from Circle can offer. So Circle right now are partner with a lot of new brand, a lot of strong brands. So we actually will see this happen more and more. So that's where I think will be tremendous value Circle can bring compared to like a Visa or PayPal, given the more traditional way.
Yeah, yeah. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But first, we'll take a quick word from the sponsors who make this show possible. Wish you could access cash without selling your Bitcoin? Ledn makes that possible. The global leader in Bitcoin-backed lending, Ledn has issued over $9 billion in loans since 2018 and never lost a single Satoshi of client assets. Why is a Ledn loan different? With custodied loans, collateral is not lent out to generate interest. No credit checks, funds in less than 12 hours, no monthly payments. Repay whenever you want, with zero penalties. And proof of reserves reports, verified by a top accounting firm, are published every 6 months. Ledn gives Bitcoin holders a secure, transparent way to unlock liquidity without selling. Learn more at ledn.io. That's LEDN.io. Is your money really yours? In many countries, governments freeze accounts, surveil transactions, and seize assets, not just from activists, but from everyday people like you and me. That's why the Financial Freedom Report exists. This weekly newsletter from the Human Rights Foundation exposes how authoritarian regimes use money as a weapon and how you can fight back. Every Thursday, uncover the latest on financial censorship, asset confiscation, runaway inflation, and the rise of state-controlled money, plus real solutions like Bitcoin. I personally subscribe to the Financial Freedom Report, and it is one of the most high-signal emails I get each week. Subscribe now for free at financialfreedomreport.org. Here's another listener comment responding to my interview with Jeff Park. On X, Tachi Intern said, "Wild how many of these shifts feel obvious in hindsight and still get ignored in real time." Again, if you want your take featured on the show, please write a review or leave a comment on an episode on YouTube, Farcaster, or X. Back to my conversation with Vicky. So this is the perfect segue to talk about the big news that was released on Thursday afternoon, which is that Coinbase, Shopify, and Stripe will now be enabling Shopify merchants to accept payments in USDC, including payments using USDC on Base. What did you make of this news?
I see that consider all other acquisition happens from Stripe. It all comes to the place as more infra is building up for supporting the stablecoin payment. I think the all stablecoin as a settlement vehicle, they actually can be solved each scenario problem with right infra. So that's where actually those kind of things are growing. So Circle play the central role, actually have a network effect. That's where Coinbase payment are using USDC as a settlement. That make perfect sense. I'm super excited to see that to empower retail shopping and help people have more better payment solution with a cheaper cost.
Yeah. And just to make it clear, Shopify has over 2 million merchants. So this is clearly, just like a really big entry point, I think, for Americans and, both businesses and consumers. So the other big news is a little bit related because, as I mentioned, Stripe was part of that Coinbase and Shopify announcement. And this week, we also saw news that Stripe had acquired Privy Wallet, which in and of itself is kind of one of the new crypto wallets that has gotten a lot of uptake. They have over 75 million accounts, and this is the wallet that's embedded into Hyperliquid, Farcaster, OpenSea, and other apps. And on top of that, Stripe last year had acquired stablecoin infrastructure company Bridge for $1.1 billion. So what's your big takeaways about the Privy acquisition?
I think like a Stripe block actually representing the payment infra. I see that this is the signal is they accept the stablecoin as a payment solution for them to be able to offer more efficiency with their merchants. I think that this is a super good news for people in this space, and also a validation for us that more and more stablecoin payment solution will adopt. And also for normal user, you and me, we might see more app powered by like USDC as a payment solution, easy to pay between you and me in an easy way, like a Venmo, or even fancy than that. Even AI agent could use the stablecoin USDC as a payment solution with permissionlessly without any notice. That will be a mainstream adoption without much like a hard setting by us, like figure out how to set a wallet, figure out where we store the recover key or something like that. I expect Stripe or Coinbase, even Circle, they are building some payment network as well. They will make an effort to make a massive adoption by providing a better user experience with the infra they're building. I think this is the trend.
Yeah, yeah. And one point that I just wanted to also make about the Shopify thing, which I meant to mention earlier, is just we were talking about Circle, and it goes to show kind of what you were saying about like this focus in the US, like this potentially could be quite big, because if this is the coin that's being used for those payments, then that will definitely increase the transaction volume. One other thing that I just wanted to ask you more generally is like, Stripe, they are making all these stablecoin moves. And I just wondered what you kind of made of looking at all of it together, like where that is going for them, or where feel like, this is fitting into their strategy.
Yeah, I think definitely it fit their strategy because Stripe view themselves as a payment infra, right? As a part of offer the merchant upgrade the cheaper, the efficient solution, especially a lot of merchant may not US based, right? And also when they are global based, cross border payment like foreign exchange are all the need to be solved in a more efficient way. That's actually the advantage for stablecoin, be able to help those with a lower like a lower fee, faster settlement. So that's where I think where all the fintech should be see this as a to go solution, right? They will focus more on build a new network. That's also the early why Stripe acquire Bridge, right? Because they want a new network with stablecoin run, permissionless, be able to help with the settlement. That's basically I feel this is the a trend similar with the AI agent helps with AI technology. Stablecoin helps payment technology. I think this is like we're super exciting to see this. So to see this upgrade, everyone should be able to get benefits from those.
Yeah. So the last big piece of news that I wanted to chat with you about, or on the business side, is the Plasma ICO, which raised $500 million in, I think it was like maybe an hour-ish via an ICO. And the original target had been for $15 million. And then they raised it to $250 million. And then they ended up raising $500 million. So what was interesting to me is, I was trying to figure out what this XBL token, what you can do with it, because this is meant to be Plasma is meant to be a Bitcoin sidechain that's purpose built for stablecoins, but also compatible with the EVM. And I was wondering, so like if you own XPL, then what are you getting? But despite, at least to me, just like it's not like I did a super deep dive, but just from some of the more cursory things I was looking at online, it just felt like this is capitalizing on a few different trends here, like obviously stablecoins. I think ICOs are coming back. But what did it say to you that this particular ICO was such a hot ticket?
Yeah, I think the observation is basically is primary institution participating. I think because when I look at the number, it's about 1,000 wallet participating that a billion pool for the deposit. So primary is come from large check, large deposit. So in that way, I think the institution are really bullish in the stablecoin infra. That's right now the hardest topic. And the Circle, given that it is more work on the like Wall Street, and in that way, IPO is take that portion of the investment money, and this is for Unchained, take a big check from people who using USDC, USDT to do the deposit could come from people are not be able to access IPO or like international, or especially I see that Tether actually have some investment in this as well. So I think everyone is figure out a way to help to build up the infra, right? Because I see their mission is the sidechain helps with the performance issue, with the speed, help with the stablecoin movement settlement with the faster speed. So that's what they're offering. With those kind of institution put a lot of money, I expect they should have a good ecosystem built up quickly, because everyone contributed their token. In this way, I think overall, if you look at blockchain or crypto business, they just significantly faster to raise money compared to traditional way, right? Because Circle has been 12 years, finally IPO raised so much money, and it never issue any tokens beyond the USDC as for just the stablecoin business. So that's the harder way. And right now, given that everyone everyone have the concerns, the stablecoin business is a good business. So I think a lot of new money could come to this place to bet on different infra piece, as long as they can solve some scenario or some problems that they realize could grow. So I think that this is really good for us. Same as Yala, we are Bitcoin-backed stablecoin to enable to help users to earn yield with the liquidity come from the Bitcoin. That's another angle, right? Because Circle has built a significant of infra from the on-ramp bank relationship to bring the fiat money into crypto. On the other side, Bitcoin is totally decentralized. We want to have the infra to help the Bitcoin get more liquidity to make a yield for the Bitcoin holder, build a liquidity layer from the Bitcoin asset. So this is totally different infra. We view that stablecoin will be a bigger business to everyone can solve some portion of problems. Then this could be help the overall financial system upgrade to a new level and get more transparent and more efficient.
Okay. And then, last question. So here we have the stablecoin bill going through the Senate. It looks like it will probably be passed sometime soon. And then hopefully we'll actually have like legislation that will arrive on President Trump's desk, and hopefully it will be signed. But what that is causing is like a bunch of other players to also take notice that this sector is poised to take off. And so we are seeing Societe Generale is the first major bank that's going to launch a dollar peg stablecoin. It looks like even DTCC is trying to get in on this. And, we've done some interviews here where, other analysts have said to us that they feel like, once big banks get in, like once there's like a stablecoin at JP Morgan, that I think that the one term that this person used is that the big banks could crush Circle. So I'd be curious to hear your thoughts about how Circle or really any of these other stablecoin players could fare against competition with big banks.
Yeah, I think um, last few years, there's a lot of trying, right? Because PayPal have a stablecoin for a little bit more than 1 year. I think more than 1 year, about a billion range. I'm really happy to see everyone try to build themselves up with some stablecoin because, like earlier I shared, it's really solve the efficiency problems. Like for example, any bank, if they using the stablecoin rather than their own, to rewrite the infra part could be much more efficient for all the transparency and the efficiency for the operation part. So that's where I think it's a significant value for everyone adopt a stablecoin. On the other side, you feel some people may think that this could be a challenge for Circle. I think opposite. The reason for that is the $60 billion circulation Circle built is the two part. One is the liquidity comes in all chains. A lot of chains adopt right now. Circle I think I have 20 chains. We're talking about integrated, and on top of that, all the decentralized exchange or all the liquidity provider are using USDC in some kind of way to do the liquidity. So that's where it's the network effect Circle has built. It's not easy to replace, right? Bank of America, you have, or any bank, I should not say Bank of America, any new bank have a stable. I don't think Solana will directly adopt it because if they see that they use USDC, it's easier to trade. One data I can share when Trump the meme token about Trump happens early this year, they actually mint $1 billion USDC on Solana because people think that this is the liquidity come from. Use this can have a trading best on Solana. That's it. So that's part. I don't think the traditional bank, no matter how many stablecoin they issue, can replace that, right? And on the other side is the unreferenced and globally support, right? US can offer that, but if you talk about a global scale, people using the check from Europe or Africa or anywhere, can they mint the stable? Because this is actually is user experience problem, and which central exchange will accept it. Circle have really good a relationship with Coinbase. Everyone know that. That's the the partnership have been together, and that's where you retail can easily get a USDC to dollar to USDC, and it's the network effect that Circle built with their ecosystems. So I think it's totally opposite. Every bank, if they want to have liquidity, they need to rely on USDC or USDT to help with their liquidity when they are be online, have more use case around them.
Okay, well, it was so great chatting with you. Thank you so much for sharing your insights on Unchained.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's a great conversation. Yeah.
Don't forget, next up is the weekly news recap. Stick around for This Week in Crypto after this short break. Markets are ripping, but not every pump is created equal. You need to make sense of the action and what's coming next. But where do you start? Meet Focal by Falcon X, your AI-powered crypto analyst. It's like having a legion of experts at your fingertips, ready to break down market-making events, chart protocol TVL, and track ETF flows. Get clarity in a world of noise with Focal. Learn more at askfocal.com. Welcome to this week's Crypto Roundup. In today's recap, the SEC signals possible approval for Solana ETFs, Gemini and Bullish Edge closer to IPOs, and lawmakers advance the Clarity Act through Congress. We'll also cover Interactive Strength's $500 million crypto treasury gamble, a major Bitcoin protocol update, and BlackRock's record-breaking ETF milestone. Plus, Cetus relaunches after the exploit, Musk's ex-partners with Polymarket, and Paraguay's president gets hacked by a fake Bitcoin campaign. Thanks for tuning in to the weekly news recap. Let's begin. SEC signals openness to Solana ETFs. the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has asked several asset managers seeking to launch Solana exchange-traded funds to revise their S-1 filings, a move seen as a potential step toward approval. According to sources cited by Blockworks and Bloomberg, the SEC is focused on two critical issues: whether the ETFs will permit in-kind redemptions using SOL tokens, and how they will handle staking, a feature that allows token holders to earn rewards by validating blockchain transactions. At least 7 firms, including Grayscale, Fidelity, VanEck, and 21 Shares, are in the running to bring Solana ETFs to market. A spokesperson for 21 Shares confirmed to Blockworks it had received feedback and plans to submit an amended filing shortly. Bloomberg analysts estimate a 90% chance of approval this year, possibly as early as July. The regulator's engagement is widely seen as a sign that a new wave of crypto ETFs may be nearing launch. Coinbase unveils on-chain DEX access, Bitcoin rewards card, and U.S. futures push. Coinbase announced a sweeping set of product expansions at its State of Crypto Summit, signaling a deeper move into both decentralized finance and traditional financial services. The most immediate change is the integration of decentralized exchanges built on Coinbase's base network directly into its main app. Users will now be able to access and trade thousands of on-chain assets without leaving Coinbase's interface. Coinbase also revealed the upcoming launch of perpetual futures contracts in the U.S., a feature previously limited to non-U.S. users. The exchange said it is working with regulators, including the CFTC, to bring these derivatives to American customers. Additionally, the company introduced the Coinbase One card in partnership with American Express. The credit card offers up to 4% cashback in Bitcoin and will be available exclusively to Coinbase One subscribers beginning this fall. Bullish and Gemini quietly advance IPO plans. Crypto exchanges. Bullish and Gemini have each filed confidential paperwork with the U.S. SEC, signaling plans to go public as investor interest in digital assets intensifies. Bullish, the Gibraltar-based trading platform backed by Peter Thiel and led by former NYSE President Tom Farley, is preparing for a potential U.S. listing with Jefferies as lead underwriter, according to the Financial Times. The filing follows a previously failed SPAC attempt in 2021 and comes amid renewed optimism as Bitcoin trades near 110,000 and pro-crypto signals emerge from the Trump administration. Gemini, run by Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, submitted its draft S1 just one day after stablecoin issuer Circle's stock surged 168% on its first day of trading. The timing suggests that Circle's success may have influenced the decision. "I suspect we'll be seeing several crypto companies accelerating their IPO plans," said Carlos Guzman of GSR to Blockworks, noting the clear market appetite for digital asset firms. SEC floats DeFi innovation exemption. Paul Atkins, the U.S. SEC chair, instructed staff to explore a new innovation exemption aimed at easing regulatory burdens for decentralized finance platforms. Speaking at the DeFi and the American Spirit Roundtable, Atkins outlined a vision to allow developers and intermediaries to launch on-chain services more freely while ensuring compliance with key safeguards. The exemption would not eliminate oversight, but could streamline the path to market for DeFi projects that meet certain conditions. Atkins emphasized that publishing open-source code should not be treated as a regulated financial activity, citing First Amendment protections. The right to have self-custody of one's private property is a foundational American value, he said. Following the remarks, DeFi tokens, including AAV, Uni, and Sky, surged more than 20%, reflecting a wave of optimism. Clarity Act clears House committees. The Digital Asset Market Clarity Act advanced through 2 key U.S. House committees this week, marking a step toward establishing a regulatory framework for digital assets. The House Financial Services Committee approved the bill in a 32-19 vote, while the House Agriculture Committee passed it with an even stronger 47-6 margin. The legislation aims to define the oversight roles of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission and the Securities and Exchange Commission, resolving long-standing questions around jurisdiction in the crypto space. Congress has a historic opportunity to provide the clear regulatory framework needed to unlock this innovation, said Financial Services Committee Chairman French Hill in a statement. Agriculture Committee Chair G.T. Thompson added, "The timing is ripe to advance common sense legislation." With both committees now aligned, the bill moves to the full House for debate, bringing lawmakers closer to a comprehensive approach to digital asset regulation. Struggling fitness firm bets on AI crypto token. Interactive Strength Inc., a fitness equipment company facing steep financial losses, is pivoting to crypto with a headline-grabbing move: a $500 million plan to acquire Fetch AI's FET tokens. The deal, backed by ATW Partners and market maker DWF Labs, aims to build a token treasury centered on artificial intelligence. The company, which reported a $34.9 million net loss in 2024 and has seen its stock plummet over 99% in a year, says the tokens will support future AI-powered fitness services, including personalized workout recommendations and incentive-based health tracking. However, only $55 million of the deal is confirmed upfront. The remaining $444 million is structured as an optional note issuance, dependent on performance. CEO Trent Ward framed the partnership as a strategic step toward long-term growth. TRNR stock dropped 21% following the announcement. Ethereum veteran says he declined $5 million offer. Peter Szilagyi, former lead developer of Ethereum's main client software Geth, says he turned down a $5 million proposal to separate the project from the Ethereum Foundation and turn it into a private company. In a string of posts on X, Szilagyi claimed the offer came with pressure to leave the foundation, which he said was also quietly supporting a parallel Geth team housed within the Nethermind client group. Did you all know the Ethereum Foundation started and funded a second Geth team inside Nethermind? He posted, citing Foundation co-chair Josh Stark. Szilagyi added that he was fired from the foundation just a day after raising concerns about the second team while on sabbatical. Geth, short for Go Ethereum, remains the dominant Ethereum client, currently running on over 60% of network nodes. Bitcoin update to expand data storage sparks debate. Bitcoin developers are moving ahead with a major protocol change that would expand the amount of data users can embed in transactions. The upcoming version 30 update, expected in October, will raise the OP return limit from 80 bytes to nearly 4 megabytes, aligning with Bitcoin's block size and enabling much larger data entries. Supporters say the change could open doors for new applications, but critics warn it risks overloading the network. Developer Luke Dashgier sharply criticized the move, saying it enables denial-of-service attacks, referring to data-heavy transactions like inscriptions. In a separate development, Bitcoin Core reaffirmed its position on neutrality in a public statement. The team wrote, "This is not endorsing or condoning non-financial data usage, but accepting that as a censorship-resistant system, Bitcoin can and will be used for use cases not everyone agrees on." BlackRock's IBID becomes fastest ETF to reach $70 billion. BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust has set a new benchmark in the ETF world, surpassing $70 billion in assets under management just 341 trading days after its U.S. launch in January 2024. This makes it the fastest ETF in history to cross that threshold, outpacing the SPDR Gold Shares Fund, which took more than 1,600 days to reach the same level. With over 600,000 Bitcoin under custody, IBIT now ranks as the largest institutional holder of the cryptocurrency, ahead of Binance and Strategy. The fund's rapid ascent follows a 31-day streak of positive inflows and growing mainstream adoption, placing it on pace to exceed the estimated holdings of Bitcoin's pseudonymous creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, by next summer. X partners with Polymarket. Elon Musk's X has announced a new partnership with crypto prediction platform Polymarket, naming it the platform's official prediction market partner. The collaboration introduces a live analytics product that integrates Polymarket event contracts, user posts from X, and Grok, the chatbot developed by Musk's XAI, to explain market shifts as they happen. This will provide contextualized, data-driven insights to millions of Polymarket users around the world, said Shane Copeland, CEO of Polymarket. The partnership follows a record period for Polymarket, which saw an all-time high in market creation this spring and peaked with $463 million in open interest on Election Day. Future integrations between the two companies are planned, as both aim to deliver more interactive and real-time financial forecasting tools across crypto and traditional markets. Sui-based DEX relaunches after hack. Cetus, a decentralized exchange operating on the Sui and Aptos blockchains, has relaunched its protocol just over 2 weeks after a major exploit drained its liquidity pools. The May 22nd attack, caused by a flaw in a shared math library, allowed an attacker to inflate token deposits and siphon off funds, ultimately compromising over $220 million. In a controversial step aimed at recovering the lost funds, Cetus managed to freeze $162 million of the stolen assets with the help of SUI validators. The protocol also secured a $30 million USDC loan from the SUI Foundation and tapped into $7 million in reserves to help restore affected pools. Liquidity providers are now seeing reimbursement rates between 85% and 99%, with full recovery expected through a token-based compensation plan. 15% of the Cetus token supply has been allocated, with 5% immediately claimable and the rest unlocking over a year. Cetus says it is strengthening its security and pursuing the attacker through legal channels. BitGlobal ends legal battle with Coinbase. BitGlobal has officially dropped its lawsuit against Coinbase, closing the chapter on a high-profile dispute tied to the delisting of wrapped Bitcoin, WBTC. Filed in December 2024, the lawsuit alleged that Coinbase's removal of 13.8 billion BTC unfairly harmed the token's market position in favor of its own product, CBBTC. The suit sought over $1 billion in damages. The case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning BitGlobal cannot revive the same claims in the future. Both parties agreed to cover their own legal expenses. Coinbase had cited security concerns over BitGlobal's ties to Tron founder Justin Sun, stating the decision was based on unacceptable risk to customers. A judge previously denied BitGlobal's request to halt the delisting, and transcripts show the court had been leaning toward dismissing the case altogether. Time for fun bits. Hacker turns Paraguay's president into Bitcoin maxi. In a plot twist straight out of crypto fanfiction, the X account of Paraguay's president, Santiago Peña, was hijacked and briefly transformed him into Bitcoin's biggest cheerleader. The hacked post claimed Paraguay was adopting Bitcoin as legal tender, launching BTC bonds, and even accepting donations to a wallet address. Bonus red flag, the whole thing was written in English. A bit odd for a Spanish-speaking president who always posts in Spanish. The real presidency quickly clarified it was all bogus. No Bitcoin bonds, no legal tender law, and definitely no presidential fundraising wallet. Nice try, hacker. And that's all. Thanks so much for joining us today.
To learn more about Vicky, Yala, and stablecoins, check out the show notes for this episode. Unchained is produced by me, Laura Shin, with help from Matt Pilchard, Ron Ivanovich, Pam Bajumdar, and Margaret Correa. Thanks for listening.